afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another live broadcast of Opa-Locka Today. My name is Michael Jones, assistant to the city manager of the great city of Opa-Locka. And today with me I have two ladies from the Department of Children and Family and from Jobs and Benefits. Ladies, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Would you please introduce yourselves to our audience?
I'm Cathy George. I'm a Senior Human Service Program Specialist with the Department of Children and Families, and I'm housed in the Opa-Locka Service Center.
Fantastic. And
I'm Jackie Boone, and I'm an Employment Security Specialist, and I'm also housed in the Opa-Locka Service Center.
great. Very good to have you. Ladies, I have just a few questions for you this evening. The very first one I'm going to start off by asking is, what is Florida's welfare reform program called?
Florida's welfare reform program is called WAGES, which means Work and Gain Economic Self-Sufficiency.
Okay. And basically, what does the welfare program require?
WAGES requires work, sets time limit, strengthens child support, supports child care, and it strengthens teen parent and teen pregnancy requirements.
I see. Now, whatever happened to the AFDC, which I believe is a children's program?
AFDC has been replaced with TANF, which is Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. AFDC was an entitlement program that went on, and there just was no end to it unless the client became ineligible due to assets or income. TANF is a family supportive services which aids families, excuse me, and who are actively seeking work. This assistance is temporary.
I see. Now, when does this work requirement actually begin?
The work requirement begins with the application for public assistance.
Okay. Could you share with me some of the actual work activities?
Yes. At the point of application, a person is referred to my office. I have a staff member who introduces them to looking for work, who explains the process that they will go through when they are approved. We actually have computers in our lobby. A person can sit there, put in information, look at jobs that are available. We have employment recruiters on site. We call them marketers. If we have job leads for the day, we provide them. And then we tell them that after the application is approved, they will be referred back to us for the ongoing services that the temporary cash assistance family or individual receives.
I see. Now, what would you say are some of the minimal work requirements?
Minimal work requirements: one, looking for work is a work activity. And minimally, that requires initially 20 hours. The minimum participation requirements for work as of October 1 is 20 hours per week. We have work experience sites that have been developed for us. As soon as the Wages Coalition comes together, we will have community work experience sites and vocational programs within Dade County schools, such as we're close to Miami Lakes. They have vocational programs as opposed to educational programs. Vocational, you're learning a skill. It has to relate to a job at the end of that time frame because people are on time limits. Right now, if anyone were receiving assistance in October, I think they're 8 months into their 2 years, possibly. So we are pushing forward with helping people find jobs. Recently, United Airlines and American Airlines set aside some slots specifically for wages clients and have held recruitments in our office. United, right now, if someone is interested, we refer them to our Jobs and Benefits office at 401 Northwest 2nd Avenue on the 2nd floor, North Tower, where they can be interviewed and screened for United Airlines. The American Airlines referral is in the West Dade office, and I'll leave that information with you.
Very good, very good. Now, does Wages provide child care for school enrollment if, let's say, a participant had to go to work?
If a participant is employed and attending school at the same time, we will provide childcare. If a participant is enrolled in a vocational program, which we have approved of as a work-related activity, we will provide childcare. For an example, in the building where I'm housed, we're fortunate enough to have an instructor from American High, Mr. George McPhee, who conducts our general education diploma class every day from 8:30 to 1. He involves the class also in work activities. They go to the mass. We have job fairs like a Joe Robbie stick. What is Joe Robbie now? Pro player?
Pro player.
Pro player.
It's okay.
Yes. The class visits those sites. We have a special program with Miami-Dade Community College where our wages clients are enrolled in their certificate programs, which last anywhere from 6 months to a year or less. And Miami-Dade does have certificate programs. You do not have to sign up for an associate's degree to come out with a job skill. We're busy in wages and children and family finding viable slots for people, but the bottom line is this. If you have no job skill and you need to start from the beginning, finding, looking, we have employability skills, we have assessment, we have ways of looking at the skills a person possesses now. But if the person is unwilling to do any of this, there are penalties involved. And as of May 1st, the penalties became very stringent. But most people are willing to work. They want to work. It's just that sometimes thinking of work in relation to what you know how to do means that you can't start at the top. You must start at that entry-level job that no one wants to start with. Right? And that's a debate that we have with many of our customers, but that's okay.
Okay. Now, what would you say some of the other support services that Wages provides includes? Transportation
assistance. I assist our clients with bus tokens, with Metro bus passes, and when we have our Impress fund back, we pay for fingerprinting. Like we have people who need to go to work and the job requires a fingerprint and a background check. We provide that. We have people who need uniforms to go to work or simple tools to begin work. We provide assistance for obtaining these items. We call up providers, ask them if we can voucher, and they bill us, and it works.
Okay. Now, what happens if, let's say, the applicant doesn't comply with the requirements of Wages?
Wow.
As Jackie so mentioned, the sanctions are very stringent. Okay, and
50 lashes, bread and water for 10 years.
How about no check?
Oh, no.
And for the entire family.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
That's just, and the first time is the easiest because it's until the person participates. But the second time, the check and the food stamps for the entire family
Are terminated
for a period of 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? Is it 30 or 60? 30 days, I believe.
I bet that gets some attention, yes.
It also gets a lot of anger because people think of the check as their check. This is my check. I'm coming in to get my check. You can't terminate my check, you know. But we have to talk to the person and explain to them what will happen. Give them an opportunity to tell us why the appointments were missed. Work through whether or not it was a good reason or not, because the third time around, it's for 3 months. And the children under 12 have to be fed, have to have a place to stay, and the recipient has to sign that check and those food stamps over to a protected payee. Nobody wants that.
And let me interject here. The sanction length that Ms. Boone is mentioning is for food stamp applicants only. Those who receive wages and food stamps receive a tougher sanctioning. The second sanction is 3 months, and the third one is 6 months.
Yes.
Okay, and in some instances, during the second and third sanctioning, the children in the home that are under 12 may receive assistance, but through an alternative payee. And might I add, if the mom or father does not have an alternative payee to receive the check for these children under 12, this case will be referred to Protective Services for investigation.
Is that right?
Yes.
Every quarter, every 3 months, part of the welfare reform law, because many of our clients think that we make this stuff up. This is a law. It was signed by the president. It's in every state. It may be called something else. Strive. Texas has privatized. So that means that people go in, maybe they don't meet such a caring person as the people we have working in our offices who take the time to sit with them and talk. I don't know, but I do know that we try to help people understand that welfare reform has been coming around for about 25 years, and it did not come with flowers. Okay?
Came with demands.
It came with demands. It came with pressure.
Right.
It dictates how the state will allow you to receive temporary cash assistance under what circumstances. And I feel that it's very serious. Our young people, our teen parents, pregnancy prevention, we try those issues. Our main goal with the teen parent is a high school diploma.
Right.
They must start somewhere. The dropout rate is still tremendous. If you are unskilled and without a high school diploma, no one considers hiring you. I think you need a high school diploma if you're a dropout, if you even apply at Burger King, because it's a job. An employer wants a quality employee. Okay? And a start means you're starting to work up the ladder.
Okay. Now, what are the time limits under wages and how are they determined?
Time limits is a toughie. Like Jackie already mentioned, we are already 8 months into the time limit. There are 24 months out of 60 months for most families, okay? For families who have been on assistance a bit longer with limited educational skills, they are 36 months out of 72 months.
Now, are there exemptions that are currently being placed on the time limits?
Yes, for child-only cases. Okay, that's cases where an aunt may be taking care of a child. Or a grandmother. Okay, right. For disabled individuals, okay, people who are receiving SSI, time limits have been exempt.
Okay. Now, what are the requirements for teen parents via wages?
Bottom line
is that they must be in school and attending towards a general education diploma or a high school diploma.
They must also live at home with a responsible adult, and also and the check, right, that would be allocated for that child, for that teen parent and their child, would be given to a protective payee.
Yes.
Now, if a teen doesn't have a high school diploma, will wages send the teen to school?
That's our requirement. That's our priority with teens. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have a class ongoing on-site. The instructor is a part of American High School's adult program. The class operates from 8:30 to 1:15 Monday through Friday. And in addition to classroom studies, they participate in job fairs, employability skills. Once a quarter, we take the entire class and our employability skills class to Hialeah and Miami Lakes. The staff there provides us with an overview of the vocational programs, the entrance requirements. They get a chance to meet the job developer. We also refer them for the participation with Miami-Dade to find out what the vocational certificate programs are, so that a person is introduced to everything at our disposal. Teen parents are included. It's a very difficult group to work with.
Very difficult.
Because for I don't know how many years, more than 10, many of our teen parents have received a check in their own name.
Yes.
Able to come and go as they please, do whatever they want, not listen to anyone. And now all of a sudden it's coming to a screeching halt, and they're going to have to abide by the same rules as the adults, but with one factor, obtaining that high school diploma.
Right.
Very good. Now, what are the wages benefits while working?
You mean what does an employer
What's that-
pay?
Right.
Oh, an employer pays according to your skills
Skills.
at his job
Fair
site.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Maybe
Oh.
the tax incentive. you may want to get into
But
that.
employers are offered tax incentives for hiring wages participants. And I have a marketer on my staff, Mr. Andre Brown, who will talk with any employer at their business about those tax incentives and tax credits, WOTC, or whatever they're interested in. So if you will contact me with employers, we will gladly go and talk with them.
Gladly.
Good. What other benefits would you say there are while one works for wages? Let's say as far as income credits or retirement benefits, anything like that?
We try to advise clients to look for jobs that after a probationary period, because many jobs come with a probationary period, and that's when the benefits offered by that employer will kick in, such as Social Security, medical coverage. But initially, maybe an employer is not covering the family with a medical plan, and it's very expensive. If the income from that employment is reported timely to children and families, it extends the Florida Medicaid coverage for up to 2 years?
1 year.
1 year for that family, which allows them some leeway in working through an employer's benefit package. The child care, for an example, can be extended through our transitional child care
care.
program for up to 2 years.
Yes.
Okay.
And after an employed person, especially full-time, who loses the check for income purposes, say you're working and it's now 1998, and you want to go back to school because the employer says, well, if you learn this skill, it means more money, an upgrade. Well, how can I do this? And you might remember that wages helped you. You can come back to us and ask us, do you have a means of helping me obtain this particular skill?
Very good.
And we probably will. Time limits aren't new to us. The experiment was started in Escambia County 4 years ago, and they had the transitional family program there. And people in that part of the state have experienced time limits on assistance and with wages.
Fantastic. Now, my final question for the afternoon is, what is wages' first option to meet the applicant's financial needs?
I don't quite understand that.
For example, what would you say your mission statement is as far as meeting your applicant's needs? When someone comes in and sits with you, do you basically create a program or format for them based on income requirements for the family? How do you do that?
I think, go ahead.
Well, the one-stop centers promote job first. Okay, and then once they come in and fill out the application for public assistance, we immediately refer them over to Jackie's area.
But we do have a means of looking at your skills and trying to place you in the job market with employers that hire people with your particular skill. We have people, for the professional, and we have people in our caseloads who, through downsizing or whatever means, may have a degree, may be out of a job and temporarily had to fall into cash assistance. We have something in jobs and benefits called the Professional Placement Network. And it is designed specifically to work with that professional, be it an ex-banker or an ex-administrator, whatever that, and they do find jobs. Last week I was in a meeting with Dr. Robinson with more staff, and he explained to us that this network, this program, had recently placed one person at a job that paid $49,000, $80,000. We're talking about professionals,
Fantastic.
and these are people who look at jobs all over the United States.
Yes.
Resumes are faxed all over the United States,
Fantastic.
and that's why it's called the Professional Placement Network. The jobs and benefits offices located throughout the city are free to the public. If you're looking for work, you go into those offices and the services are free.
Mm-hmm.
They first show you how to look for employment yourself through the computer system. There are jobs. I don't want people to think there are no jobs.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be the particular job that
What
you
you
dreamed about over
Right.
these years, but there are jobs available. There are employers willing to hire people. It's just that there are so many people looking for work, not just the unemployed person, but the employed person is looking.
That's
Looking
right.
for probably better
Yes.
Right.
opportunities.
Right, so, and now we're coming to college graduations, and how many universities do we have in this city? That's the competition of the unemployed person. There's a big pot of people there.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come down and explain to us exactly what is it you do. Does either of you have a telephone number where you can be reached in case someone watching might want to call in for more information?
Yes, I'm reached Monday through Friday at 953-3000.
It's 953-3000.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you once again, viewers, for watching Opa-Locka Today. Until next time, have a fantastic afternoon.